Do it. Good, thank
Is there anybody else out there? No, in the parking? Oh.
Come back to it. We still got 2 minutes.
Yeah. You see me, yes, that's me, fast. Call on somebody, so. That's, we'll go ahead and get started and then. Yeah. Okay, call to order, Rincon City Council meeting 7/28/25. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Scott,
Here.
Councilmember Milner,
Present.
Councilmember Underwood,
Here.
Mayor Exley,
Here.
Councilmember Blackwell,
Here.
Councilmember Taylor. Here. Councilmember Riley. Here.
All right, so tonight our invocation is going to be given by Pastor Michael Page with Connection Church. Glad you're here, sir. And remain standing for the pledge, too, if you will.
Amen. Mr. Mayor, thank you for letting me be here. And Councilman, let me just pray with us. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks and praise for this day and for the many blessings you pour out on us. Lord, we come before you this afternoon just asking for your wisdom, just as deeply dependent people on your wisdom and your grace, Lord. Lord, you're the sovereign king over all creation, over every neighborhood, every street, every business, and every family in our city. Nothing escapes your sight or your jurisdiction, God. So we raise our eyes to you, Father, for wisdom, for grace. Father, I pray that you would anchor us, Father, in your word. We know what was good, what's right, what's true. Lord, make us aware of the vulnerable and unseen, the forgotten in our community, not for political gain or applause, but for they matter to you, Lord. I pray that you would guard our hearts, every leader in this room, Lord, from pride, from bitterness, from burnout. God, replace cynicism with hope. And may all the decisions we make here tonight be made not just by efficiency, but by integrity and love. Lord, we thank you, Lord, that you're not distant, Lord, you're near. Lord, you're Emmanuel, God with us, even here, even now in this council chamber. So it's in the mighty name of the matchless name of Jesus that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance. All right, guys, there's a motion in order to approve tonight's agenda. Second. Got a motion by Mr. Riley, I got a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And then we have the approval of the minutes for June 23rd. Does anybody have anything on that? Nathan? Got a motion by Mr. Blackwell. We got a second by Ms. Riley to approve the minutes for the June 23rd, 2025 meeting. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, so I guess we'll have some fun out the gate. Ms. Blackwell, you want to come up and talk about who won the Freedom Rings float award?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Karen Blackwell. I served as one of the 2025 Freedom Rings Parade judges. I've been asked tonight to by the Parade Committee to present this year's awards for the 3 best decorated floats. It's my honor to present the first place award, which recognizes inspiration, spirit, and excellence. This year's winner truly represented all 3 categories and goes to the Baptist Church at Ebenezer. Please come up and get your award.
All right.
Anybody?
So Ms. Black. move the first place to somebody else. Right.
Check these off. Okay, for our second place winner, this was truly an impressive and life-changing entry. This award goes to Empire Gym.
Float must have had some suspension on it.
Air ride.
It had,
He was maxed out.
yeah.
Okay, our third place winner, originally an enthusiasm to our parade in a big way, goes to Greenside Restaurant. Yes. Okay, I've got a couple more things I want to say. The parade committee wanted to thank all of our participants for making 2025 Freedom Rings Parade such a memorable and exciting event. You've all shown what community pride really looks like, and thank you.
I don't know that, it was as hot then as it was, today, but it was pretty hot out there. And, I mean, that parade was awesome. The rest of the night was awesome. Thank you guys for getting involved, and thank you, Gina, for getting after that. And, I gotta stop. Barry, and Lolly, I know y'all were all involved in putting that together. So that was our group that put that whole thing together. So. Really nice. So tonight, as we always do, we say public comment shall pertain to agenda items only. Should you wish to appear before council, you'll need to go into City Hall and see our city clerk, Dulcia, and she'll get you that form to fill out to get yourself on the agenda. So now we're going to move on to the consent agenda, and there's a motion in order to approve that.
Second.
All right. I got a motion by Ms. Underwood. I got a second by Ms. Taylor to approve the consent agenda as read. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion. All right, and then we'll go back to old business, number one. It's an application filed by Neil McKenzie with Coleman Company, Inc., requesting site plan approval to construct 50 townhomes. This property is located at 624 Blue Jay Road, and it's owned by Georgia Precision Builders, LLC. Parcel zoned R3 multifamily residential, and the parcel number is R2730001. It was, obviously this was tabled at the last meeting. Mr. City Manager?
Yes, sir. This was tabled at the June 12th meeting. All the engineering comments have been addressed. The EOM's given it a clean letter. The petitioner's here to answer any questions you may have. Mr. Mayor, the attorney said you need to remove it.
We need to remove it from, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a motion's in order to remove it from the table. Motion to remove it. Okay, I got a motion by Mr. Blackwell. I got a second by Mr. Scott. All in favor say aye. Motion passes. All right, and then we'll go, if you want to come on up.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Mallory Boyd. I am with Coleman Company. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and present our site plan for the proposed Blue Jay Townhomes. What we have here is an R3 zoning designation, which permits multi-family residential. Our plan proposes 50 fee simple units, each individually owned, which will promote long-term residency and contribute to a more stable and invested neighborhood. We work hard to design a site that not only meets code requirements, but goes above and beyond, and creates a high quality living environment. Stormwater will be managed through the expansion of the existing pond, and we're incorporating a surrounded earthen walking trail to turn a functional space into a recreational amenity. Sidewalks will be provided throughout the site to encourage walkability and safe pedestrian movement. All utilities, including water, sewer, and reuse, will be provided by Effingham County. We've also incorporated additional on-street parking for guests to help reduce any potential strain on driveway capacity. A 20-foot painted buffer will surround the entire site, helping to create a natural separation from adjacent properties and enhance some visual appeal. And it'll provide privacy for both the future residents and the surrounding community. In preparing the site plan, we've carefully considered staff feedback and zoning requirements. We believe this plan represents a reasonable, balanced approach to growth, and we respectfully ask for your support in moving it forward. I'm happy to answer any questions and address any concerns.
Okay, we'll start at this end, Ms. Riley.
Happy to help.
I have something. My biggest concern about townhomes is off-street parking for your guests.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, these are gonna have driveways.
These will have driveways and additional parking it's not going to be in the streets, but it's outside of the driveways.
Because, you know, for bus reasons, that's my biggest concern is people tend to just leave their cars out there.
Yes, they provide some additional options.
On that, how many cars will the driveways accommodate?
The driveways will accommodate one.
One vehicle per townhome.
Yes, sir.
That, thus the
Yeah.
additional parking
Yes, sir.
will need be needed.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what the elevation drop is from the entrance to the retention pond?
I don't off the
I
top of
couldn't,
my
I
head.
couldn't see it on my
You
package.
should be able to pull it up on the staking plan or the grading plan. You can go to the grading.
Because I know that's gonna be a pretty much straight in run road, and it's gonna be, when it rains like it has the last few times, 4 or 5 inches, it's gonna be like a river going down that road.
Yes, sir. They've got on-site drainage, that will feed to the back pond. A few lots in the front do feed to Blue Jay
Right,
Road
yeah.
towards the ditches, but the majority will feed to the pond that's being expanded.
So it does, so along with the pond, there is a little bit of gravity right down.
Yes, sir. They always take that into consideration when designing the site.
I'm kind of startled by the one car. So the maximum per unit's 2 cars. How much off-street do you have? That additional parking,
street-
would that accommodate a couple of cars?
Off-street, we have, I believe, 10 additional parking spaces for any visitors that might come.
What about the 2-car families? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. The driveway itself will hold one. Not 100% sure if the home builder is going to do any kind of garages for these townhomes, but that's a possibility. The
That's something-
developer's working with an end user right now for the home building. I could get back with you on that answer, but like I said, we have at least enough parking to accommodate each home and then visitors.
Is that something we can address later, Terry?
Once you get the approval, you can. However, what I would say is, as we all know, we don't allow on-street parking, so they are going to have to make it work within the driveways and the additional parking that they provided.
So you mentioned 10 additional parking spaces?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if there's 50 homes, just say half of them, there's gonna be 25 extra cars. My concern is the overflow parking. As we discussed.
And that's the same here, because we probably need to look at the percentage of 2-bedroom homes. As well as the overflow, because I can tell you right now, 10 dollars to it. We've got some problems with the one. Stuff on from Blackwood, we've got some serious problems there.
Yeah, there's.
And you have to go back and look at the percentage. Two parkings, but that many, it's not gonna work, because you can have 2 bedrooms, you can probably have 2 people, 2 cars. The tenants there, it won't be enough parking, the tenant won't be enough parking for the tenants that's staying there. So we probably have to look at that parking situation.
Yeah, I'd like to double check and see if there's any garage parking for the units off the top of my head. I just don't recall.
And so that brings my next question. When you say garage parking, would this be detached or would this be
If it was there, it would be attached, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
And we know here in the state of Georgia, how many people actually park their vehicles inside a garage. Most of the time that's used for extra storage, so. The additional spaces would be my primary concern.
So I want to clarify, and I'm gonna look at Terry. If we approve this as it is now, then they're okay to do it with one parking spot per drive, Terry, is that what you're saying?
That's what the. My advice to you, is she's got answers that she wants to get y'all. My advice is to table it to the August 11th
Okay.
council meeting, so y'all, she can bring you back the answers to your questions you're asking, because those are some legitimate.
Yeah. Yeah, so can I make that motion now?
It would be legal to do so.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we table it till August 11th.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion by Ms. Underwood, I got a second by Mr. Blackwell, the table to the August, say again, 11th meeting. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you for your time.
Thank
Thank you.
All right, we got new business, number one, Brittany Young requests to appear before council.
Hello, I am Brittany Young. I appreciate you guys having me here today. I'm here to respectfully request your consideration and support in allowing our family to keep our pet pigs, Wilbur and Daisy, at our residence at 139 Ridgewood Circle. Sergeant Hayes received a complaint regarding pigs at our residence. We purchased our home May 24, 2024. And over the past year, we have had zero issues with neighbors or the city regarding our pet pigs. Our neighbor at 137 Ridgewood Circle even pig sits during our annual summer family vacation. Sergeant Hayes cannot confirm who submitted the complaint or what the complaint was, but we recently had new renters move into the property behind us. We have balconies that come off of our second story and overlook the neighbor's backyard, and it is not a coincidence that with these new renters comes the complaint. We have since had more issues with these neighbors, not with the pigs, but the wife decided to come over and curse my husband and daughter out regarding our dogs barking. I understand that current zoning ordinances may classify pigs as livestock or require 200 feet from the next property's dwelling, but I kindly ask the council to consider either an exemption or review of the existing code to account for responsible ownership of potbelly pigs as household pets. Our backyard does not back up to our neighbor's property line. We have two separate back fences with 5 feet between their back fence and ours. Both Wilbur and Daisy are fully domesticated and house trained. They are indoor-outdoor pigs. Their outdoor enclosure provides shelter from all weather conditions, and we maintain all necessary vaccinations, proper waste management, and contrary to the complaint submitted, they pose no threat or disturbance to our neighbors. I maintain their enclosure daily myself, which includes cleaning their waste, cleaning and sanitizing their pool, and freshening their hay. There are no odors emitted from their enclosure, mud holes, or issues with fly control. Pigs do not bark or create any other noise disturbances. We have had Wilbur for 4 years since he was a tiny piglet. We actually got him from the Rincon City Fair that comes at Freedom Park. Our pigs are not only our beloved pets, but also a huge part of our family. Pigs are emotional animals, and uprooting them from their family would be detrimental to their health and futures. I did this before. I have invited Sergeant Hayes or either one of you guys to I would love to have y'all come to our house and see their enclosure or answer any additional information that y'all have. Thank you for y'all's consideration. I did receive an affidavit from Wallow in the Woods Pig Sanctuary, which is in Metter, which is where we would have to relocate them to. As you can imagine, in this day and age, it's hard to rehome a dog, much less to potbelly pigs. And I received a letter from our neighbor at 137 Ridgewood Circle. It states, "Dear members of the City Council, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing as a concerned neighbor to voice my full support for Brittany Young and their beloved pet pigs, Daisy and Wilbur, who reside peacefully at 139 Ridgewood Circle. Daisy and Wilbur are more than just a pet. They are gentle, intelligent animals who have become a cherished part of our neighborhood. Many of us have come to know and love them, and we have witnessed firsthand the affection and responsible care that Brittany Young provides. It is clear that Daisy and Wilbur are not a nuisance, but a well-behaved animal who brings smiles to children and adults alike. To date, Daisy and Wilbur have not caused any disturbances or health issues. On the contrary, they have brought kindness to our street. Many neighbors, myself included, appreciate the uniqueness of having such a loving and well-cared animal nearby. I understand that certain ordinances may not have anticipated pets like Daisy and Wilbur, but I urge the council to consider making an exemption or revisiting existing rules in light of this specific situation. Not all pigs are livestock. Many, like Daisy and Wilbur, are domesticated pets similar to cats and dogs in behavior and care requirements. Thank you for your time, attention, willingness to consider the voices of community members who support thoughtful and compassionate governance. I hope the council will act in the best interest of our neighborhood and allow Daisy and Wilbur to remain with Brittany Young where they clearly belong. Sincerely, Anita Baylor. I have provided some photos if you guys would like to take a look just over the past couple of years of them with us, as well as photos of their enclosure, just so you can see it's not kept a mess. I go out there personally and clean it every day myself.
Anybody up here got any questions? So Levi, we'll start with you down there and work our way around.
Good Mayor, Council Collin, the town attorney. I would just like to make a point, Mr. and Mrs. Young, Mr. Mayor and Council, the way your ordinances read and even read before the UDO do not permit for an exemption or a variance in this case. The only mechanism available to council and mayor would be to change the ordinances. Otherwise, you'd be in an enforcement issue. And again, you cannot do that the way things currently stand. But back to you.
So on the ordinance itself, if someone were, and I'm just asking this question here, if someone were to keep a pig inside the home, that is not affected by the ordinance. And let the animal go outside for breaks or whatever they need to do.
The way your ordinances read, it's based on having or not having swine on the property, however, or wherever. I'm assuming, and this is a huge assumption, it was just to protect from folks who may not be exhibiting a high level of care, but then you have an enforcement issue. Keeping of horses, livestock, and other animals, swine shall only be permitted on properties 5 acres or greater located in the AOR1 zoning district. Then you have a breakdown of particular animals and additional requirements, but I believe that one I just read is the one at issue.
And I think what we're dealing with is not just one family in one house, is the precedence and open it up for anybody. And as you said, the high level of care may not be exhibited in every circumstance.
What's the approximate weight of that?
Our largest, our older pig, he's probably about 225. He is larger. Our younger pig, she's 2. She probably weighs around 100 or so pounds. Both are spayed, neutered. They see Faultville Animal Hospital. They go to the vet. Tractor Supply sells the vaccines. They're wormed yearly. So we take care of them just as we do our dogs. They have traveling hoof groomers or farriers. So they have their hoofs and tucks trimmed.
This is a difficult situation.
Yeah.
Okay, these are pets.
Ordinance doesn't provide any leeway. The way it's written, it's been that way for quite some time, if I'm not mistaken.
And it recently changed. I saw whenever we moved, as I was looking through it, it hasn't always said that there had to be 5 acres. I think online, whenever I still look it up, it still doesn't show that. It said that, which we are still not the correct distance from their home, but I think it's 200 feet from your neighbor's dwelling, which we're still not exactly there, but it didn't state 5 acres. And we don't live in an HOA.
It's the pets. It is a pet, and it's inside, outside. Actually, it wouldn't bother me to have them. It's my neighbor's cats. Spray all over my
We
yard.
have several of those too. I'm like, they are definitely much more of a nuisance than our pigs could ever be, as the amount of stray cats that there are.
But then we have to open it up for everybody.
We have to amend the ordinance.
I understand that we have to open it up for everybody, but we could open it up for stipulations like providing proof of how the animal was cared for and things like that. Like, there has to be something that we can, I know we can't do it today.
You can change the ordinance in 2 readings. You just have to get comfortable with the
And
language.
have to- But that would protect everybody else. That would be the trick. I guess. we got
How
these
big is your
3
property?
Quarter-acre lot.
Quarter acre?
So
So you've only been there since May of last year. Did you purchase the home or are you renting?
We purchased our home in Spam.
Should we get Terry to do some research?
Keeps on it. This is.
I understand that we can't do anything today, but I
We did. But we had a change the ordinance. Look at it. You still have to have some kind of square footage. You have to have weight.
Yeah.
Weight. It's just a few things we really need to look at. In this situation, we'll get that done. Gotta have 2 readings, 2 public readings.
So,
I need.
yeah, so Bojo, do you, if that's what we were gonna do, would this be something that, well, you can't, it's not anything to take?
There's no mechanism in front of you.
Yeah. So the only thing that, if council wanted to revisit that, the only thing that we could do is just let her maintain until we revisit it and have conversation. Whether it be in the workshop setting or whatever, and then come back with a decision.
Yes, I mean, the mechanism would be planning and zoning's instructed to look at evaluating options for zoning changes.
Violation.
But the violation's pending.
If a violation is placed already. So what we need to do, we need to extend the violation, give her
Waiting
waiting period.
That would not be up to y'all, that would be up to Mr. Hayes, which
Yeah, right.
which he can do, but that'd be his discretion.
And I've got a question. Was there complaints of odors? What was the complaints? Does anybody know?
Well, is there someone here to speak against? But, make sure you state your name and address.
Good evening, my name is Austin Mathis, and I'm a renter at 301 Aspen Harbor. Sorry. It's right around the corner. We're almost backed up to each other, as I mentioned, about a 5-foot difference. And that's enough for, when it gets hot, you start smelling animals, especially when there's 2 large pigs, 4 loud and aggressive dogs, and probably about 15 cats. So the pigs, in my opinion, have been a nuisance since we moved in. They squeal, we've submitted videos of that. There's been quite a few times they've been without any kind of water or anything. And we've submitted that. And I'm just a dad trying to make sure my kids are safe, When it comes to livestock, hogs are the closest genetically to humans. To the point where if you work in, say, a factory farm, you have to go in completely strip off your clothing, take a shower, put on a protective suit, go work with the hogs, and do the same process in reverse. It's a health risk to everyone involved. And I'd like my kids to be safe, and these pigs cause fly issues, they have an odor. I don't feel like it's a safe environment.
How old are your kids?
They are 7 and 4.
How long have you been at your address?
We moved there May 2nd of this year.
And can I ask the homeowners, he made a statement that you have 4 large dogs in addition to the 2 pigs and approximately 15 cats, is that accurate?
No, we don't have 15 cats. Those are the strays that I mentioned. And I would also like to note that when these guys moved in, the weekend they moved in, they actually came and knocked on our door with watermelon scraps and asked to feed our pigs. Him, his wife, 2 children, and his mother-in-law, they actually came to our home to feed our pigs watermelon the weekend that they moved in. So for somebody that's trying to protect their children from our pigs, they knowingly knocked on our door and fed our pigs watermelon. And the 15 cats are not ours, and our dogs are not aggressive. Our dogs were also outside when they came over. Our dogs do bark at each other when they're playing, and they will bark if they see them outside, but they're not aggressive. They're a poodle, a golden doodle, and a little wiener dog mix.
I'll interject myself as legal here, understanding it's a delicate situation. Legally speaking, there is nothing before council. Certainly, Ms. Young has the right to be heard. Council has heard it, and the neighbor as well. Thank all of you for participating, but legally, what would be most appropriate is there is a fine and/or item pending. If council wants to take up research into changing this ordinance, it can. But at this time, I would recommend, legally speaking, if there's nothing further, there is nothing for council to act on vote wise. So I would move on respectfully to all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're gonna move on to new business number 2. Shakilia Joyner, request to appear before council to discuss rental of Freedom Park.
Mr. Mayor, I don't think the petitioner's here.
All right, going once. New business number 3, vote on a petition filed by James Rutland with Habitat for Humanity. We have already spoke with him. So we are going to, I'll just ask for a motion to table this until the end of August. What meeting would that be, Robin?
The 25th.
The 25th. So we want, I want a motion to table that to the 25th of August.
I make a motion to move this, agenda item to August the 25th. Second meeting in August.
I got a motion by Mr. Blackwell. I got a second by Mr. Milner to table till the August 25th meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. New business number 4, request approval for appraisal of a portion of East 6th Street, approximately 20-foot paved section of roadway located beneath Columbia Avenue and North Richland Avenue, bounded on the north by parcel R20700078 and bounded on the south by parcel R20700071.
Not for the appraisal.
Okay.
This is a piece of property that we had discussed in the past. First Baptist Church is looking for it. Y'all just need to vote to approve and give me the go ahead to get an appraisal done like this.
Second. I got a motion by Ms. Riley. I got a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. New business number 5, request approval of ordinance 0-2025-13 to amend chapter 2, administration, article 2, mayor and council generally, section 33, reserve, to increase the salaries of mayor and council members, to provide an effective date to repeal all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith and for other purposes. Motion in order.
Well, if I may, the as legal, I drafted the documents. We would just need a number included for those. I believe one's been recommended and ready, but that would be for y'all. State.
Okay, numbers, that's something that we do every day.
You would state.
So it would be, 950, 750 for that. Is where we do that.
Mr. Mayor, those are cutters.
Yeah, we can discuss this. This is based off of, we did a survey of other local, municipalities that was our size. Mr. Scott, I believe you've been on council for a lot of years, and, we are way off from where we should be. And so, you know, by getting everything in order that we have, we want to make sure that, that council, you know, it's worth getting good people in here because it is a job. It's not an easy job. And if you go back and look, these jobs pay $250 a month. And most of these people up here are on the phone every single day. And so, you know, obviously we need to, we've got election coming up. This would fall into the lap of other people that would, you know, that would step in if they were elected. So, you know, it's nothing that, we can approve tonight and then it go through. So this council may be approving this for another council coming in, but it is a fair rate. Matter of fact, it's less than the other 3 municipalities.
Well, and if I may, Mr. Mayor, consistent with state statute, this will not go into effect till January 1st. So you would have that election before now and then, which is how it's all.
And that's the way they work. So you could pretty much vote in any type of increase, but if council comes.
Yeah, I'd like to point out also, it's been 14 years since this council has voted itself a little raise of any kind. Or that's going to be in December 2011.
Matthew Spaccarelli. Who are you guys talking to? Like, you're looking down, but what's the rate? And here's the thing.
Whoa. First thing, I just told you the rate, and if you wouldn't have been looking like you were looking off and not paying attention to me, then you would have known that I said the rate.
950, 750, something like that,
That's
right?
right. That's exactly what I said. It's 950 mayor, 750 council. Is there anything else that you don't understand about what we're saying up here?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
When I looked at the agenda, and then I looked through the agenda packet, it would be helpful if that was maybe included with the agenda or something, because you guys have the information. I could ask somebody else, like what it is that you're talking about. And
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we have put out, we put out these agendas for years, and there's never been an agenda packet that has went out. So these agenda packets, never went.
I've requested it a couple times and don't see it, always sends it to me.
Yeah.
Like
you
it's
can
easy to
request it.
request.
You can request.
No, I was out of town, I didn't even know the meeting was here, and I just rolled into town, and when I'm in town, I come to the meetings, when I'm not in town, I'm not at the meeting. So like,
Again, what's the issue?
well, that's all I was just trying to say, is like, what is the rate now, what is, it's 750 now?
No,
It's
250.
It's
250 now, is it like a week, a month, or
No,
what?
that's a month.
And then you want it to go to 950?
And then it takes, taxes come out.
Yeah, okay.
No, 750.
Yeah, like I'm not saying I'm like,
Right.
you know, against the, you know what I
Right.
mean? I just want to understand. I go to the meetings a lot, and a lot of times there's acronyms and things that most people in the audience have no idea what you're talking about. And especially if you could, if you have the agenda packet like we don't have, unless we request it, just put it up on the. Okay. That's it.
I appreciate your concern, but I think you kind of missed me because it came out when it was read, Black stopped the council. And they killed what they're going to do.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm only, you like, when
Mayor give the rate.
Yeah. It's hard for me, just so you know, because like I roll into town and then if there's a meeting, I'll go. If I'm out of town, I'm
They're
working.
available online too. Everything that we do is recorded.
Yeah.
and
I know, I've watched them before and it's on Facebook and it's kind of glitchy. It's very glitchy. It's very hard to watch.
Thing we're gonna try and improve.
I'm not, you know, I'm just trying to understand, and be informed.
Currently, it's $2.50 for council and that's before taxes. That
And that's
doesn't
fine.
cover our gas
I know.
for all the running around we do DMs.
And I
But, yeah, and we will still, we're not trying to gouge the city or anything. We'll still be under other municipalities.
I just want to understand it.
And
That's fair, right? That's what it
Thank
is.
you, thank you,
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
thank you, sir. So moved.
Motion by Ms. Taylor, I got a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passed. New business number 6, consideration to approve resolution number 2025-4 to proceed with a voter referendum on November 4th, 2025 on the question of whether the insurance of license for the package sale of distilled spirits in the political subdivision shall be permitted or prohibited. And 2, whether the governing authority of the city of Rincon shall be authorized to permit and regulate package sales by retailers of malt beverages, wine, and distilled spirits on Sunday between the hours of 12:30 and 11:30.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, just by way of background, these topics have been discussed with the idea of potentially putting them up to the public for a referendum. Only at that point, if approved, would they go into effect. So the citizens would get a direct vote on that. What's before you right now of those two ideas, you can vote to put one or both or neither to the public in that referendum. And then as a reminder, the county had agreed to pay, the county had agreed that whatever costs are related to putting that referendum up are a part of the agreement we had earlier, just for the elections for officials. So no extra cost to the taxpayer or city, and you have the option of putting one or both items to the public in November.
So this would be for the November 4th election.
Yes, sir.
Coming up.
And I think we should express to the public that this is gonna be a lottery. I think, isn't it?
I think we're working right now to put all that stuff together. Terry, you'll be working on that, obviously with our city attorney and the city manager to get those guidelines in place. Right now, it's just a referendum that's going up, so.
Y'all, the citizens will.
Yeah.
Guidelines.
Yeah.
Placements.
So all that will be done prior to the. So there's a motion in order for the, got a motion by Ms. Taylor,
Second.
got a second by Mr. Milner. All in favor, say aye. Motion passes. Nobody opposed that, did it? All right, new business number 7, request approval to contract with Finley Horn to install crosswalks on Fort Howard Road. Mr. City Manager.
Yes, sir. Mr. Marshall's here to discuss the crosswalks. This, had come back before council because it's over $20,000. That's not Mr. Marshall.
Yeah, I'm Harrison Dean. I'm with Kimberly Horn. Good evening. So we've developed this project order through coordination with the city manager, and it would be in accordance with the master services agreement that was executed in early June. So this proposal includes the design of several crosswalk locations along Fort Howard Road, and it would connect several of the residential developments along the north side to that sidewalk that's on the southern side of Fort Howard. So attachment A shows some of those proposed locations. The design would also include sidewalk extensions from these developments, as well as rectangular rapid flashing beacons to go with those crosswalks. So the scope includes developing a GIS database with field verification, coordinating with utility owners and preparing the construction plans, as well as signal plans and erosion control plans for construction. So this would not be the
Hold
actual.
on just a second. Terry,
Yes.
can you put that map up for us? All right, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yes, and to clarify, this would not be the installation of the crosswalks, just creating the design package for construction. Following the design, we would also prepare an opinion of probable construction cost to assist the city with bidding and procuring construction.
All right, so the map you gave us was just an example, that's not a fine.
Correct, that is
Okay.
our proposed locations, but at the initiation of the project, we'll hold a kickoff meeting so that we can verify the exact locations.
Because we don't, I was looking at Willowhead Way and.
And Weisenbaker,
So
those are two, intersections that we see, I see a lot of people crossing that too. Not only kids, but adults, some citizens are in wheelchairs going up down the side you mentioned too. And that I first, like, down by the school. Yeah, they're going, looks like, they're planning then, you got to move the existing
Correct.
back to the intersection.
Right, yeah, there was the recently installed crosswalk there, so we'd be proposing the RRFBs at that location, and then removing the older crosswalk, which currently doesn't connect to any sidewalk on the north side.
Yeah.
Do we have an approximate cost on this?
We have a cost for the design, which is $58,700.
Now, have y'all been doing a speed study?
We have.
Has that, you got all that data yet available, or will that be forthcoming?
We just got the data a couple weeks ago, so we kicked that effort off in June, and we'll have those speed studies completed in August. So that would be concurrent. So we'll have that data available as we're doing this crosswalk.
Yeah, I think Robbie, you clarified to us that some of that data will be collected after school. So.
That's, Mr. Martingale, speed study and the traffic studies too.
Yeah.
And so I informed him that y'all wanted to, when we did these crosswalks, we want to get them with school in fashion.
That school, the school opens in what, less than 2 weeks? The state-
Yeah.
Teachers are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can take long. But if y'all, mark up, they'll give you the locations that they, in this city, and I'll give it. The addition.
So what you're asking us to approve tonight is how much we've already spent, the 58,000?
We haven't spent it.
We haven't.
I'm voting for Robbie to approve the design phase.
Now, is it just one design and we use it at several locations or the whole thing? The whole
The construction plans will include all the locations along Fort Howard. Right.
Right now, you're proposing putting those high intensity flashing lights at every crosswalk.
Yes.
So when they push the button,
Correct. They would only flash when someone's crossing, when they push the button. Yeah, but if we discuss and we think that they're best used at one specific location, we don't have to install.
that was my question, whether all of them are just one, mainly like at school when kids are trying to walk through and from beginning and ending of other activities.
Just to quickly follow up on your question about West Bay Street, that's a different signal installation.
Yeah,
They're Hawks.
but it's similar.
It's similar, but these are side mounted, rapidly flashing rectangular beacons. That's what we're talking about. It's not an overhead
Right.
with a red stop light. They're flashing lights on the side of the road.
Yeah,
There's several
I've seen
in the city.
I've seen the ones you were proposing to. I can't remember where.
They're on both sides of Flag Park. They're used throughout the
Yeah, we see.
Coachella County,
Yeah.
everything as well.
So,
I have expressed this before and I'm gonna express it again. I do not understand why we are encouraging people to cross Fort Howard Road at Rincon and at the Abbey that far down. What is the speed limit there? What is the speed limit?
45.
45.
That's part of what we're trying to change.
I feel like that should be the first course of action, is address the speed limit on that road before you start directing pedestrians into that road. But I can't have any question on that you put up.
And I guess in Tim, I want to speak to this, and Ben and Kevin, because they up and down that road.
It's underway now.
Yeah.
That's part of the master agreement. They didn't come back to y'all.
It's 45, they're doing
They're
55, 60.
That's underway right now.
The bottom line is people across.
They're all
designate
That's what I was gonna say.
designate into an area to cross. So
I
they
think-
get it.
I think that was the thought, Randy, they're crossing so prevalently.
Are we doing that study? Because I saw one person cross that road is not, there, it's in abundance and we need to make a change.
So
How many people are crossing
it is,
it?
Well, that's part of the study too.
yeah.
The speed study is only for vehicles for the speed of the road. We would have to procure additional count for pedestrian data.
I feel like until you have data to say that it's a problem, can't get behind.
But for a pedestrian, you gotta have somebody out there looking, because I don't know of a physical way to have a remote.
I feel like
there to
putting these in place is.
They can look in the cameras.
Mr. Scott, what you got? Other than, I know we've got a lot of parents out there and kids are down with crossing. I just don't want Brandon saying about trying to direct them away from it, from those areas. But the speed limit right now, but what the flashing light, of course, in the air. Whether that's good or not, but once you start directing people in those areas, there is a liability on us if you don't maintain them and do what you.
So the 58,700, the first phase of design, is that correlating with this? Because we're looking at other areas along that road. Is that going to increase that 58,000? Okay, so if we put.
For Mr. Marshfield, that should.
We would be comfortable adding.
And if I'm correct, anything over 35, you can pretty much assume there's a fatality going to be in with a pedestrian. So, 35, somebody gets hit by a car, and I understand directing people and all that, but somehow this has to be a safer road because people are crossing it. And
Show me that data. Show me.
well, I'll
that
tell you
they're
what,
crossing it.
you get with me, we'll go out and sit there. I don't have the data, but I see the people walking across. I see the guy.
I do too.
It takes one person. We had one person in our community get killed. Now we're talking about a major road that we're looking to do a lot of stuff down. But one side doesn't have a sidewalk.
The speed limit is still too high to do this.
If you bump it down to 35, it's still going to be a habit. It's a main thoroughway through the city of Rincon. Am I right in saying that?
Absolutely.
So it is our duty to protect our citizens.
People
Well,
should
then,
not be crossing across it like that without a.
Yeah, let's, go ahead.
that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, so could I ask you guys if y'all could speak to this and what you see historically, empirically, that adding crosswalks causes more liability or less liability? Could you speak to that, please?
Take that.
And that's actually what I set up to talk about. First of all, the kickoff meeting we would use to help guide the siting of the locations. The locations that we're showing in this map are based on density. Where are the people? Where are they trying to go? We want to work with the city to make sure that we've identified the correct locations before we start putting pen to paper and come up with those designs. So these locations may shift. We accept that. That's not a huge issue. As far as and I'm no attorney, of course, but as far as risk is concerned, there's currently no designated place for pedestrians to cross. I would find it hard to believe that by providing a safe crossing with our RFPs would bring in any additional liability. There's not a spot for them now, and what you're doing is making places for them at places that cars would expect them, and you're providing warning devices to let cars know that there's a pedestrian there.
That would be and that's an assumption that right now, not giving them a safe place to cross is more liable than otherwise. And now my next question is, Merle, how hard is it to enforce? We need more police officers already. We're not through the conversation to enforce people not in these crosswalks. Mhm.
It's not hard, we just have to see it,
Yeah,
and we have to have all the credit to see it.
but I think our liability is in not having the crosswalks and not guiding to a safer spot. One of the first things that was, I know a gentleman that lives in Rincon Pines, and that every time he sees me, he says, he asked me before we were elected, and every time he sees me, he says, where's our crosswalks? We need crosswalks. And he always asks, because he's got kids that like to go over to LP. And so, I mean, and we're bus drivers, so Brandy doesn't see what we see every day, and she's got an honest question. She really does. So I hope that helps a little bit with that, so. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
I make a motion.
I got a motion by Ms. Underwood,
Second.
got a second by Mr. Milman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. New business number 8, consideration to accept the dedication of all domestic water and sanitary sewer facilities lying within the city of Rincon utility easement as depicted on the recorded utility plat, all domestic water and sanitary sewer facilities lying within the utility easement as depicted upon the recorded subdivision plat, and an access easement over the 30-foot access easement and the city of Rincon utility easement as depicted on the utility plat related to the Gateway Hub. This deed of dedication conveys only grantor's right, title, and interest in and to the water and sanitary sewer facilities themselves and the access easement, and not fee title in and to any land on which such facilities are located. God, that's a
Mouthful.
right, these.
You're a lawyer. And it's never been put into an easement.
That's the, under the track.
Yes, sir.
These.
And this is, and we were sort of holding off on it till we got the picket fences, you know, I don't want to say we were bartering, but we were bartering before we told them we'd set that and take it.
Off-road.
Yes, sir. So I'd ask that you approve this.
Second.
All right, I got a motion by Ms. Riley, I got a second by Mr. Scott, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Go to, mayor and council comment. I had a few things based off of the transparency portal. Just some of that information updated. Ms. Lewis, if you can pull that up. Just kind of go through some of the projects that we've currently got going that is on our portal. I probably can't see them here. I know, Montgomery Park renovation was on the list, but we were probably half or 3/4 of the way through with that, before we got it there. Thank you so much. We were halfway or part of the way through that, whenever we updated this task list and, Mr. Byrd came in. Picket fences, emergency, access, that construction on picket fences began on July 2nd. They are making, good headway there. I know the rain's probably slowed it down a little bit, but, Mr. City Manager, you've been back there, so that's, I have, we have had a few complaints out there where they kind of started on that front piece beside the guy's house and then just kind of left it like that. And But, that's something I think you're working out with the.
Yes,
with
sir.
the people out
The
there.
biggest challenge out there was that first wetlands crossing, but when they got that redirected, going to the call.
So and I think that's where they started too, right?
It is.
Work their way in.
Yes, sir. And a comment that came from the fire chief today, he had a good one. Instead of in picket fences, instead of placing the gate out by the road, move it back where the sign is, so the neighbors can build their fences up to it,
Okay.
to where people won't be walking. We're working on that.
Okay. And I know there's been some questions about that property. The city did not purchase that property. That's why a lot of this took a long time, was, gaining the easement. We actually requested easement for this, and, we had a lot of things happen in the middle of it. We had someone lose their life and had to go through the probate. But we made it through it, and that's one of the reasons why, it took us a while to get this done, because we did not purchase the property. We actually got easement approval for that easement. The community engagement, I think we, just about finished with the Warrenton, Hickory Knob Phase 2 subdivision. Our community engagement is, mayor, council, and city staff going out and, combing, neighborhoods and areas, and, basically, having, leadership in those communities speak, and then let us know, issues that they may be having, whether it be police, fire, speeding, whatever, public works. And we had everybody out and addressed, and we'll be moving to the next, location soon. Our wastewater treatment plant expansion is rolling right along. Mr. Bird's handling that, working through an engineering firm that's getting that ready. We have until October 26th to get that, off and running, giving us, anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 gallons, of extra, actually for, help me, Robin. Capacity, yes, for our wastewater treatment plant. Coming into this thing, this is why we have this transparency portal, because we want to let everybody know the things that we were working on, promises kept. One of the things that we have on there, is we were two full years behind, or maybe 2.5 years behind on auditing our books, which means there are certain grants that, we can't even ask for money from grants, or things like that, because we're not up to date on our audits. We have closed out, we're closing out 23, and I think she's got a really good handle on 24. One of the things that Hadassah brought to my attention in a meeting not too long ago is, she came in and said she was gonna have the same group look at 2025, so that we know that we're on track and 2025 will be smooth. So those things should be, I think 23 is estimated end of August.
Yes,
to finish. And then we'll start 2024 up, which is in better shape than 23 was. And then obviously rolling into 2025, which we're in now. So we're not behind on that at all. People ask, why were we behind? There was a lot of factors in there. We didn't have the proper financial staff in there. Now that's taken care of. So there's been a lot of things that we've addressed, and then obviously we're speaking to the community through the portal. We got the sidewalks going to our amenity. I think we're just about complete with those, Mr. City Manager. I think we've got a couple of corners
and handicap access.
And handicap access on a couple of those corners that we're looking at, and then that will be what we owe the community based off amenity being in the community. So that would give walking direction, to the amenity. We have the read on here. I think we're getting close to confirming those appointments. CID, we're working on water reuse line. That's something that we have really talked about a lot. That is going to be part of our wastewater treatment expansion. So if you guys are looking at that reuse water is what saves us in capacity for our wastewater treatment plant. So what we're trying to do is purple pipe as much of this city as we possibly can, get this water flowing, this not gray water, but this reused water flowing, so that we can actually reduce our capacity needs. and continue on without spending, a ton of money on that. Obviously, the review of the speed limit, with GDOT is underway. Kenley Horn, we've got those guys doing that. Street resurfacing, that's the 9th Street resurfacing.
We approved the intergovernmental agreement tonight with the county. That should be McClendon Enterprises is doing that. They estimate early fall for it to begin down West 9th Street. East 9th Street is gonna be a T-spot part, so that's gonna be done off.
Okay. And we have, just so you guys know, we have picked out and looked at the other streets that we are going to pave throughout the city. And we're gonna try to work that so that we can, receive our LMIG, our funds on that. Problem is you can't receive that if your audits are not caught up. So we're gonna get through that process. Hopefully by the time we get the bidding and all that done, then we'll be finished with, our audits, and then we can go after that, those funds as well. Reserve fund balance policy, I think you're working on that, Ms. Adasa. We had money in different places. We found money. We told you guys we found 1.4 million. Adasa did sitting in an account that was there for, bill pay that,